games we're going to break down. But first, let's go to the National Basketball Association. So I came down to Costa Rica in 2017. That's when we started all capping together, on a daily basis. 2017, 2018, I finished double-digit units up in NBA. 2018, 2019, double-digit units up in NBA. And 2019, 2020, plus 5.77 units when the season shut down. 121 wins, 107 losses, plus 5.77 units. ROI plus 2.53%. Average line minus 108. So I got some work to do. And I'm going to take it pretty easy. There's Patrick Toby liking the Islanders and the Jets to move on. Got a lot of hockey to talk about tomorrow. Billy Brisbane in the house. MMA locker room. Back with Big Country. Bobby Lee Swagga. It's hard to talk. Who do you talk about with a smile on your face when you think of the Grizzlies? Blue Edwards, maybe? Maybe Blue? I don't know. Hard to find anybody to think of with a smile on your face. Heartbreak. Okay, let's get to work. Jazz, Pelicans. Very, very tricky. Hard to trust the pace that we were dealing with these teams through the regular season. And I'm not going to. I'm going to start by not trusting the pace numbers. I'm going to leave the totals alone a little bit. Walter Trotter, a.k.a. Wham Bam, is on the over in the Spurs game. And it makes a ton of sense. And that over is going up. And maybe I should smash it right now. But pace-wise, I'm a little uncomfortable. To make bets early in this year, in this bubble, you have to have a clear angle, like fading Brooklyn. But with these two games, it's tricky. Billy Brisbane says Pelicans lay the chalk. Jazz have nothing to play for. It doesn't matter if they end up in the 4th seed or the 5th seed. It really doesn't matter if they end up in the 3rd seed because the 6th seed is the Rockets. So it doesn't matter if they're 4th or 5th because home court means nothing. They're going to play OKC most likely. Ron Crawford is on the over. Bleds W. Pels first quarter. Zion was in the shoot-around. He's good to go. So Lonzo, Drew, Ingram, Williamson, Favors going up against Gobert, O'Neal, Slow-Mo Joe Ingles, Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley. Pelicans tied with Portland and Sacramento 3.5 games behind that 8th place Memphis in the West. Both teams were playing well before the suspension of the season. Whether that matters much, it's up to you. It was clear the Pelicans were a fast improving team with Zion getting more minutes. They'd won 8 of their last 13. Utah had won 5 of their last 6. Jazz won the season's first 2 meetings, but Jazz are a different team with Bogdanovich. The Pelicans and the Thunder are the only teams to win all of their scrimmages. Jazz were fine. They went 2-1. Dutch Boy Fresh says Pelicans are nothing. Antonio Garcia is on the Jazz plus 2.5. Sean Moser says Pels usually start off great, but so hard to tell in this restart to see where the teams and the guys are at. Brian Warner says over's getting smashed. Billy says Pelicans are hungry. NBA's doing everything to get this team on the TV for playoff ratings. And Big Ragu in the house giving a shout out to Ron Crawford, this great spreadsheet action. He's on the Utah Pels over. Milo in the house, great to see you. Jermel writes, says Conley and Mitchell have chemistry issues. Well, does Donovan and Gobert have chemistry issues? They sure seem like they didn't like each other when we broke in March. Again, I'm going to go back to this because I'm not going to be making many bets in NBA to start it off. I need to have a clear angle. If we're talking that Conley is not comfortable or Mitchell and Conley don't roll together, which I'm not certain of, then who is going to have the ball in his hands? Slow Mo Joe, whom they all love. MMA Locker Room is on Ingram points, 22.5. Dennis Garcia says, if you wanted the over, should have taken a couple days ago. Move too much. Under is the play. We've seen a 7-point move. It is starting to come back. Open at 220.5 at Bet365. It's at 227 right now. It's not coming back. Jeez. Okay, so 20 minutes ago, it was down to 226.5, and it's now hammered back up to 227.5. Wow. Pelicans open up at -1.5. They got up to -3. There's still 3 at one book. There are 2 at most others. There's Antoine Seymour now. Joe Yurkovich. Dutch Boy Fresh has missed a number on the over, definitely. Connor McLaughlin agreeing with Dennis's look. Joe Yurkovich saying under seems logical given the time off. There's Antoine Seymour in the house. There's George Wood ready to get to work. So Zion back. Jazz have no Bojan Bogdanovic, 20.2 points per game. I mean, he did nothing else, but who's going to take those threes? Probably Slow-Mo Joe. So Joe is going to replace Bogdanovic. Joe was hitting 41. Bogdanovic was hitting 41.4. All right, so my first bet in over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Slow-Mo Joe Ingles. There's Manny R in the house. Great to see you, Manny. Rich Kemp, Sammy Hammy. Sammy Hammy says, need a good game to put 10K on. Big boy moves. Big boy bets for Sammy Hammy. Well, I have $200 on the over 19.5 points, rebounds, assists. DJ Big Boss took the over already. Took the over. DJ Big Boss not afraid of that market move. All right. And Ulysses Hayes back for NHL. I love it. Okay, let's move on to Clippers, Lakers. Market moves throughout. Bet365 opened this as a pick'em. It's now -5 for the Lakers, so it was -4 an hour ago, which means that AD is likely playing. This total dropped down to 217. It's now back up to 218. It did open at 218.5. And there's Ron Crawford dropping his spreadsheet action. Shout out to our Ron Crawford in the house. All right. So Davis got poked in his right eye during Saturday's scrimmage, but if it's 5, if it moves to 5, clearly he's in. George Wood is with it too. Jeff Joseph, I like by my standards a lot. I thought he got a bad ride last out. But Tom's the Tad is just the best. I think he's the best older dirt horse in the world. And it's his year. I like by my standards a lot. And with Tom the Tad at 3-2, you're getting a nice number. But Tom's the Tad. Now, I've got to do a better pace scenario, Jeff, and I'm going to have that locked down for tomorrow's show. But all right, let's keep rolling here. And I was looking back at the show yesterday. I saw that you asked about max security. It was just a strange trip and a difficult race to gauge, and certainly did not look very good. There's Danny Moore in the house. Okay, let's keep rolling. So, Lakers, Clippers. We'll start with the Lake Show. Dion Waiters, J.R. Smith replacing Bradley, and Rondo with the broken thumb. LeBron James has a right groin issue. I'm sure he's good to go. That's why it's at 5. Kyle Kuzma ankle issue. I'm sure he's good to go. DJ Big Boss, an interesting look on the Clippers. I can't back the Clippers here. So Lou Will says he went to that strip club to eat. I'll edit myself there. Montrezl Harrell out officially. Patrick Beverly, Landry, and Zubac could be available. Jeff, I'm going to do more works on it. I'm going to do some more work on it. I'm not going to be here for the Saturday show, but Bono, Ian Cameron will be hosting the Saturday show. Nitty Fu says, I think Joakim Noah is a good pickup for him. Look, Noah's, when he wants to play, he can still play. It's just, he just doesn't always seem to want to play. I do kind of like that pickup for them as well, especially with the possibilities of these Clippers not going to be in the lineup. Clippers won those first two meetings, then Lakers came back and won 112-103 right before everything stopped. This is an exhibition game that will be watched by a lot of people. Connor McLaughlin says Lakers are passing. I'm going to pass at 5. Michael Overleen is right, but I'm going to pass at 5. Yes, Patrick Toby, and yes, Ian Cameron will be a hammer. You're going to get looks from all the NHL series, from myself on Friday and from Babano on Saturday. Look at Michael Irvelina. I agree. It's like Connor Mack said. It's Lakers are nothing, but when that -2 is sitting there all week, then a 3 and a 4, and now it's 5. My only move to start NBA back in action. Slow-mo Joe. Yes, as far as we know, Zion is playing. All right, so I'm on Slow-mo Joe. If Viper hits his over 10.5 points, I will very, very likely hit my over 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So Viper, it's you and me, baby. Slow-mo Joe. God, he looks so bad out there. But he's pretty smooth.